Hello, 7th grade. It's Mr. Schaefer here. Good to see you guys virtually. Welcome back to campus. Hope you had a great first week. We really missed you guys. We're glad to have you back here. Hopefully you like the new look of campus. We're going to jump right into our first pod lesson of the year. So let's do this. First, some reminders. So hopefully that visual aid isn't too hard to see. So announcements. Just a reminder about lunchtime. We do have some outside seating options coming soon, so watch out for that and stay in the proper boundaries. You know that we are not going to the teacher parking lot or the old soccer field, but everything else is fair game. What else do we have going on? So agendas and charge Chromebooks, and I know Chromebooks are not always working great, but we're getting those back to you fast. So bring charge Chromebooks and agendas to every class. That's sort of an expectation that you need to come ready, prepared, ready to learn. So other things going on. If you think you're a leader and you want to run for student council, pay attention to this pod video next week because you'll have a chance to learn more about that. And then let's do our best to keep WTMS green. I'm not talking about necessarily the environment here, but really our school environment. So doing the little things, wearing masks, staying on the right side of the hallway, trying not to group up around stuff, will keep us on campus so we can stay out of the yellow or even red areas because we want you here in school having a good time with some new safety precautions. So let's talk a little bit about what pod is. A lot of you guys did this last year, so you know, but just a reminder. Here at WTMS, we care a lot about your physical health. That's why we have PE. We care, of course, about your intellectual growth. That's what most of school is about. But we also care about your social emotional learning, okay? Things like how you interact with other people, how you control your emotions or don't, and harness those to your benefit. That's what pod lessons are supposed to be about. I know that they're not always the most fun. Maybe you'll like this new method. Hopefully if things go well, we can get back in the pod someday. But for now, we'll be watching these videos. Your homeroom teachers will have conversations. And it's about real stuff. So hopefully you enjoy them. This year specifically, we're going to try out a new program on you guys. It's not brand new. Some of the teachers know it. It's called Second Step. Those are the 4 domains they're mostly focusing on. But we are going to jump into Second Step next week. Today, I wanted to talk about 2 main things, if this mouse cooperates. Who we are as a school, and then goal setting. So, who we are. You will see this posted everywhere in the school, specifically in all of your classrooms. If you have your agenda, it's on page 2 of your agenda. And this is how all of your citizenship grades will be calculated. You've seen those before in report cards, and to be honest, nothing against teachers, but everyone calculated them in a different way. Now we'll be looking at this rubric and seeing how, as it translates in the classroom, if you're working hard, taking responsibility, that went backwards on me, apologize, making positive choices and showing respect. So I hope that you look at that closely. I want your citizenship grade that we're kind of nicknaming your habits for success to be just as important as your regular academic grade. We've got some feedback from people in schools that when people leave schools, they got into the workplace, they may have straight A's, and this may even apply in college. They said this is supposed to be a straight A student, but they don't show up on time, they can't work with others. They said that we wish we had another measure of what really they are going to be like as an employee or a college student. So this grade is going to show up as a letter grade right next to your regular academic grade. So please take that seriously and know that those WTMS expectations are school-wide. We need to know those. Those are who we are. That's what makes this place great. Excuse me. Next thing I wanted to talk about is our school mission statement. We mentioned this briefly, or I did, in my welcome back video that you may have watched. And this is all about our mission statement. So as a school staff, we are trying to help you be hashtag future ready, which is my lame attempt to be hashtag cool. I know it doesn't work. But what does it mean to be a future ready student? Well, when you leave here, or even after your 7th grade year, after this trimester, we want you to embody these qualities we're about to talk about. Because we feel like that's what will help you be hashtag ready for a great future for you and for the world that you live in. So the B in the Beavers acronym that helps us remember what future ready means you're like this handsome gentleman here, which we know our mascot for whatever reason sometimes gets a bad rap, but I think it's very, very cool. It fits our community with the reservoir here, and they are builders and leaders, those animals, okay? So we want you to be somebody who's building up others and making the world around you better, and you're not somebody who's just gonna follow the crowd, okay? You're also eager, invested learner. So eager, maybe not quite like that dude, but excited. Not every lesson's gonna be the most enjoyable thing in the world, but if you can come with some type of a positive attitude saying, school's all about my personal growth and learning something new, that'll be great. And the invested part is invested in, again, your future. And if you think of money when you think of investment, great, because we know that whatever type of education you gain will help you with a better life in the future. So we also, on the A, want you to accept challenges and commit to growth. If you don't know about a growth mindset, we'll talk about it early on in our pod lessons this year. Remember, that's the belief that basically you can always do better, you can always master something if you keep trying, and the brain has a capacity to grow, where we used to think that it was more fixed. Okay, people thought that you just had this level of intelligence. We know that that's not true, and we should be saying, when you have a hard assignment, we should accept those challenges because it is the pathway for growth. In our school, we value diversity. That's what the V is for. So we have some good diversity here in terms of where people come from, language diversity, gender diversity. All of those things are nothing but a good thing. If someone's telling you that it's a bad thing, you may want to doubt what they're telling you, because that's a dark pathway. Where in reality, everyone adds their voice to the conversation, their own unique experiences, and that's really cool. We should value that. After that, we need empathetic, kind people and the future-ready folks. And that's our school-wide goal. We're trying to make sure that during these uncertain, crazy times, why make somebody else feel bad about themselves? Okay, before you do that, just put yourself in their perspective, their shoes, and say, how will this make me feel? And that's the same if you're kind of being mean to a staff member or a student. We're trying to make sure that everyone's just going through the day with some kindness. We also want resilient, future-ready people, which means that if you do poorly on a test or you have some type of setback in school or in life, this is just going to happen for sure. You're going to be able to dust yourself off and try again, which is a great way of thinking about just how life will be. And I like Nelson Mandela's quote. If you don't know him, look him up. He had as many trials as anybody over a long stretch of time, but he did not let that get him down. In fact, he said, I never lost in life. I either learned something from the experience or I won. What a great perspective or mindset when it comes to challenges you might face. And finally, that last one went a little fast there. Sorry, having some mouse technical difficulties. This is just like RealPod. I still don't know technology, and I'm still old. That's good. Problem solvers. That in the world, in the future, we need people who work together to creatively say, here's some things the world has been after in terms of solving for a long time. Okay, whether that's hunger, disease, all these things, war, and we think that you as the next generation are going to be problem solvers to make this world better for sure. So that's who we are. Okay, remember the WTMS behavior expectations. We want you to be future ready when you leave here, and Beavers is the acronym to remember for that. So part 2 of Pod Today is really going to be on your own, and turn to page 3 of your agenda if you have it, and we're going to make some SMART goals this year, really once a trimester. And there's a space in your agenda for that, like I said, page 3. And if you don't know what a SMART goal is, your homeroom teacher can help you. But without a goal in mind, and I'll remind you what SMART is right now before I get ahead of myself. It's specific. So if you have a goal because you have a spot on your agenda for a school goal, and maybe one for an extracurricular or something outside of school, like band, soccer, whatever you might do, or just something not at all related to school. So specific means you're not going to say something like, I'm going to be better at football. It's going to be specific. Okay, I'm going to work on my blocking, my route running. In soccer, I'm going to become a better passer, whatever it is. In school, specific, can't just say I'm going to get better grades. You need to be specific about what that means, okay? So it's not just kind of a vague wish. Measurable means that you can kind of mark it down and say, did I reach that? Again, if you say, I'm going to be a better soccer player, how do we know that? Okay, we need some way to measure that. Attainable. It needs to be, even though we want you to reach for the stars and try to make some really wonderful goals, it has to be possible. It can't be impossible. So if your way to be a better soccer player is to score 25 goals a game, I don't think that's going to happen, okay? Relevance kind of a given. It's going to be relevant to you, that's fine. Okay? And then finally, time-based, meaning that If you want to do better on grades, by when? By midterms, by the end of the trimester. So goals become that much more powerful when you tie kind of a deadline into the language there a little bit, okay? You remember from last year that we care about the 7 habits of highly effective people. Habit 2, right, was begin with the end in mind. So this is why we're setting goals. If you're just wandering aimlessly through life, which some people are, that's a pathway to not success. So you need to have a vision in front of you. That's what these goals are for, and your homeroom teacher will help you make those. And I think the last one, like we always do, is some words to end on and think on. This comes from a French author, and I believe it is, a goal without a plan is just a wish. I don't know how many times I've heard people say, I want to be a professional basketball player, I want to be a doctor, I want to be all those things, and those are within your grasp, certainly, but you need to find a path and start working for those today. And that's what these goals are that we're going to do once a trimester, all year long. Thanks for listening. Make sure you get those goals in your agenda. Look at them. Okay, refer back to them. Measure your progress, how you doing on those, and then we'll revisit them at the end of the try and hope that you did some great things. So thanks for listening. Enjoy homeroom. We'll see you around. Have a great day.